Hi, Eric Wilson here, independent licensed mechanic with 30 years of experience. In the next 6 to 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story on this 2021 Chevy Equinox so you can make yourself an informed decision. This is the left rear tire, about 80 to 90% all-season radios, lots of tires. Now, more important, okay, coming behind the front, the rear left tire. This is your rear left shock, and it's full of oil. And if it was leaking, you see oil dripping all the way down there. But that is good and clean. Left sway bar link connected from here up to there. That is doing its job. The left outer CV boot. Now they're full of grease. If it was leaking, you'd see it right away. Your right inner CV boot, good and dry. Your differential, now this is right here, is a leak point, and if it's going to leak, it's going to leak right here, and that is bone dry. In fact, the whole bottom of the diff here is good and dry, so no leaks, and that's a good thing. Nobody wants drips on their driveway. Okay, this is your left spring suspension, no cracks, no breaks, looking good. Now this is your left strut, and again, full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it dripping all down here, but that is good and clean. And this is your spring suspension for the left strut, good intact, no issues with that. About 30,000 K on your front brakes. You got good brakes front and back on this thing, and your rotors are nice and clean, so no issues with that so far. Now coming in on the front left tire, about 90% tread on all season radios. Coming behind the front left tire, lower ball joint tight, lots of about 30,000 K. The what do you call it, outer CV boot, good and dry, so no issues so far with that. Okay, and your outer left CV, your outer left tie rod here, this is the most important thing in the whole car because it holds the wheel to the steering, and it is tight. So I'm not seeing, and it's another leak point. If it's going to leak, this is where the drive shaft comes out, and if it's going to leak, it's going to leak right here, bone dry. In fact, I'm not seeing any leaks under the transmission, the transfer case, nor the motor. This thing is very, very clean, and that's good. Okay, now coming in on the front right tire, about 90% tread, and behind the front right tire, your outer right tie rod is tight. Your outer CV boot is good and clean. Your lower right lower ball joint is good and tight. Sway bar link connected from here up to there, a little harder to see, and it's connected well on the left as well. Now on the inside CV boot, I'll get you a shot of that right now. Yeah, see for yourself, good and dry. More importantly, we see where the drive shaft comes out of the tranny. That is bone dry. That's a leak point. If it's going to leak, it would leak right there, and there is no leak. So far looking not too shabby. Okay, now this is the front right strut, and both right and left strut are very, very clean. Now they're full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it right here, and that is dry, and so is it on the left. And then on your spring suspension on your left and on the front here, as you can see for yourself, is good and dry, intact, doing its job. Okay, and your right rear tire, about 90% tread on all season radios, so lots and lots of tread. Your right sway bar link connected from here up to there. Okay, up to there, so all good there. Now your right rear shock, if you follow it up, full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down there. Your right rear suspension is good intact. Your right outer CV boot is good and dry. Your right inner CV boot, if you can see for yourself, is good and dry. More importantly, behind it, a little harder to see, but behind it, bone dry, because it would be oil all over the place and you see it right away. So I am not seeing leaks, brakes, suspension, any issues so far. Okay, you've got 65,184 K, very low K. However, you do have a traction light here, a traction control light. Usually it's most of the time it's a bearing, one of the bearings that is lost its signal, so I can't say without scanning it, but definitely going to have to deal with that check engine light, with that traction control light. Now, no cracks in the windshield, and dash looking nice and clean. And I'll take you out and show you the condition of the motor now. Okay, you got the 1.5 Ecotech motor with the turbo, and I don't hear anything of any concern in this motor at all. However, one thing you do have to do is you have to change the battery, because this battery is pretty much done. So just that you're aware of that. So that is my estimation of this vehicle. A couple issues: you got to change the battery, you got a traction control light, brakes are good, suspension's wide, everything's dry. Now the other thing is that that you want to ask the dealer about is, for 20 years I've been putting a 10% fuel saving device on cars. Never fails, always works, and we're prepared to give it to you for free. All you have to do is ask the dealer. He'll hook you up with me. I'll put it on, and you'll be saving yourself 10% on your fuel costs. So 10% is 10%, folks, and get it free, even better. Now, folks, I hope this helps you make an informed decision, because I just want you to buy safe with Eric. Thank you.